starting tonight's dinner. I'm going to make a sausage chilli because we've got some leftover sausages from yesterday, and then I've got some chopped tomatoes, kidney beans, some chickpeas. I've got 2 different chilli mixes. I don't know if I'm going to need to use both because I'll probably add some of my own spices. Just frying some onions, and I'm just going to put it all together and add some salt and pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, and see how it tastes. This is a really quick and easy dinner, especially if you pre-cook the sausages like I did the day before. I'll just put them in the fridge, and everything else just needs heating through. It can take as little as sort of 10 to 20 minutes and you're done. And it's got loads of goodness in it because you've got onions, you've got 2 tins of tomatoes, you've got a whole tin of kidney beans, a whole tin of chickpeas, and if I had anything else in, I could always add some peppers or mushrooms to it as well, maybe some courgettes. And it's made absolutely loads for really low cost. So it's one of our favourites, and I'm just going to boil some rice to go with it. So here we are, all plated up, and I've just put some grated cheese on top and served it with some boiled rice. So for tonight's dinner we decided to make some homemade pizzas, but we were going to cheat and use this ready rolled pizza dough from Tesco. We'd never used it before, so it comes in the chiller section and you just literally roll it out onto your tray and put your toppings on. Now the first one we had, as you can see here, was a bit of a nightmare. It just all stuck to the paper and it was really hard to get it off and unroll it. I've used it twice since then and both of the other ones have been absolutely fine, so I don't know if this one had just got a bit warm or something. I mean, I got it straight out of the fridge, but by the time I'd unrolled it, I was like swearing I was never going to use it again. But basically you unroll it, you leave it on the paper, and then you put whatever toppings on you want and just put it in the oven for about 15 minutes. You prick it with a fork as well to make it rise. I've also used this to make pizza pinwheels for the boys' packed lunches, and it goes down really well. That takes a little bit longer. If you're going to roll it up, it takes around half hour to 45 minutes to cook all the way through, but really quick and easy. So the first one we did was pepperoni and cheese. So obviously you can use whatever toppings you want. We also did one with goat's cheese, red onion and spinach. We put some cherry tomatoes on and also some extra cheddar, and this was really, really good. We just used tomato puree as a base. I think this is going to be a definite favourite on our menu from now on. So for our next meal we have one of our absolute favourites in this family, which is fish pie with hidden veg. I have got a full recipe on this. It's actually a Channel Mum recipe, so I'll leave that link down below if you want all the quantities and everything. So the reason they call this hidden veg fish pie is because you actually put leeks in the mash and spinach in the sauce. I also like to add some fresh parsley into my sauce as well. It goes really nicely with fish. And we put some creme fraiche in the mash to make it really nice and creamy. And Steve mashing, he was really cross because I gave him a small bowl and it was really difficult for him to mash up. You add your cheese into your mash as well, and it's a really simple sauce. You do it in the microwave, so you put your ingredients together and then you just put it on for 5 minutes and stop it every minute and stir it, and then it just turns into a really good white sauce. You pour it over some frozen fish. I just get this in Tesco. I think it's about £4 a bag. And then you just top it with your mash and obviously more cheese because you can never have enough. Then it goes in the oven for about half an hour or until it's bubbling and golden brown. And we just served ours with some tender stem broccoli and some carrots. The funny thing is that Jake will not eat fish pie because he doesn't like mash. So I did him some fish, some tender stem broccoli and carrots and a jacket potato. Kind of ironic, I can't really see there's a huge difference between a jacket potato and mashed potato really, because he mashes it up with his fork anyway, but I'm not going to argue, he literally cannot stand it. But it just looks so funny to me to see it's laid out. It's just deconstructed fish pie. He even had a bit of cheese on his potatoes, so one day maybe he'll eat it, but it's not really that hard just to put a jacket in and a piece of salmon for him. So I'm just making spaghetti bolognese or spaghetti with pasta. I'm not sure which one we're having yet, and I have to say this is the first time I've ever used celery in a spaghetti. I know loads of you commented when I said you like celery or not in my other video, and so many of you absolutely love it and a lot of you are like me and hate it, but I thought this time round I would put some in with my onions. So I've got some fresh garlic, like 2 cloves of garlic. I've got a chopped onion, and I've put 1 stalk of celery chopped up in here, and then I've just put like about half a bag of spinach because it's in the fridge and needed using up, and I want to get some extra veg into our meals. I'm also doing some carrots to go in it, and I will use the water as like the liquid, if you know what I mean. Well, you do know what I mean, it's just liquid. But it smells really good actually. It doesn't smell horrible like celery smell. I don't know what I'm expecting it to smell like. But I'm going to have my mince in here and then all my other ingredients. So this will have tomatoes in as well. So I have onions, celery, garlic, spinach, carrots and tomatoes. So yeah, nice veg packed spaghetti. Right, so here it is before I dish up. I'm just about to. It's been simmering for a good 2 hours, which I think really helps with the flavour. But I have tasted a little bit of the celery and it's still hard. I don't know, is it meant to go soft? Like when you put celery in these things, I kind of thought it would go soft like the carrots do, but it hasn't. So I don't know if I'm going to get away undetected. I've got a feeling they're going to bite into it and know exactly what I've put in it now, so I may have blown my cover. But I'm just about to dish up and I will let you know if they found me out. Right, so here we are dished up. I've just put a little bit of grated cheese on top and that's what we've got for dinner tonight. So at the moment Steve is obsessed with making smashed burgers, and he watches Sam the cooking guy on YouTube all the time and he always makes these burgers, so Steve decided to have a go and we've had them about 4 times recently in different variations. So to begin with, I'm just making some skin on wedges with some Chinese salt and chilli seasoning. I just do these in the air fryer after coating them in a little bit of oil and some of the seasoning that you can get in home bargains. Next up, Steve's got some pork and beef mince. You want 20% fat for this because it makes them a little bit more juicy. And he's just put some salt, some pepper, some garlic powder and some thyme in there, and then mix them all together and form them into these absolutely humongous looking meatballs. And the idea is that you leave them round. We get out our flat CADAC pan. This is actually used for our barbecue in the garden, but it's a really massive pan. So once your pan is nice and hot, you put your giant meatballs on it and literally just smash them down. You let one side crisp up and go nice and brown for a few minutes before flipping them over and letting the other side cook. The other thing that Steve likes to do is to toast the buns. So he moves all the fat to one side and then cuts open the buns and pops them on the tray as well. This way you get that really nice burger seasoning and also a really nice crisp when you bite into it. So assembly wise, it is just ketchup, mustard and mayo. This is what we have on pretty much all burgers all the time. So once he's added the sauces, you just add a slice of lettuce and then we go back over to the burgers and melt some cheese on top of them. Now these are just the normal cheese singles you get for like burgers in the supermarkets. We have tried this with Gouda cheese as well, which is really good, and he's also made these using chopped chicken thigh, which are probably the best burgers I've ever tasted. So once your cheese is melted, it's just time for assembly. He put 2 in each burger, which was way overkill to be honest. It was just massive, but the boys thought it was amazing. He also fried off some red onions to put in some of them, and it really added a nice flavour, like a really good sweetness. It looks like something out of Man vs Food, honestly, but it's such a nice meal, and in a house full of boys, it goes down an absolute treat. Really simple to do, and if you haven't got one of these massive pans, you could just do it in a frying pan and just do it in smaller batches, but it really is an impressive looking burger and it kept everyone extremely happy. So that is it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you're not already, and I'll be back really soon with another one. Take care, guys.
This is what we waited for.